Hey, what's going on, guys? Here's CJ and Era's back talking about Zombieland 2 Double Tap.
Double tap. Always remember double tap.
I
And also remember rule number 1: cardio.
This movie, I love this movie. I like it more than the original. I didn't think that was possible considering I love the original, but this movie was actually really good.
This movie was way too much fun.
It follows is what I like to call. It was the Capcom of old methodology where it was basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this movie does. It's like, hey, you like the first movie where we just follow these 4 different people from different lives surviving in the zombie apocalypse and stuff, and they get into crazy shit and stuff like that. All right, do you want to see them in the sequel? All right, cool. And we revisit these characters in the sequel. And what was great about it is it's very tongue-in-cheek because this is legit 10 years after the first Zombieland movie.
Yep.
And I like that they actually addressed that. It's not just, it takes place 2 months out. No, it addresses it. Hey, they've been out here surviving for 10 years and whatever and stuff. And, we're back,
Which that still blows my mind that this is the sequel to a movie that came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great in the fact that it's Tallahassee and Columbus and Little Rock and Wichita out here surviving. When we catch them, they're in the White House, and
I'm gonna go ahead and say it,
Mm-hmm.
Little Rock. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now, Little Rock thick. Moving on.
Yeah. So basically, it's what you expect out of it, and it makes sense. Like a lot of the decisions in this movie with the characters, it makes sense because you have Little Rock, Abigail Breslin and stuff. She's a teenager now. And she's gotten to a point where she's like, yo, I want to see other people. Like, hey, I have this family, but like, what is out there? And I don't have anybody my age out there to interact with, and growing pains, basically. You got Columbus and Wichita. Columbus wants to propose to Wichita, but she isn't having it because it's a zombie apocalypse. You could get
don't
bitten.
get it. Don't get attached.
Yeah, don't get attached because it's like, I mean, hell, we see it in Walking Dead. You get bitten, and this is somebody you just met. Well, shit, we got married. You get bitten, and all of a sudden, I'm a widow now, and you understand that because she's afraid, and that like you said, don't get attached.
But then again, going off of Walking Dead rules, you do get attached to somebody, and that significant others of yours bites the dust. It makes your character, if anything, it impacts your character a whole lot more and makes you a much more important character later.
Yeah. And then you got Tallahassee, who is basically like the father to this whole crew. And I think, again, their interactions from the first movie, it carries forward into this, and just a little subplot. The whole plot is basically Little Rock wants to go to Graceland. That's the big thing. They want to go to Graceland, And during this whole trip, they run across this dumb blonde played by Zoe Deutch, and she is actually fun.
Zoe Deutch is probably the most. She plays her role too good,
to the fucking T, to the point to where I'm like, okay, you're a little too good.
Yeah, like you're a little too good at this. Like,
especially when her and her character Madison and Wichita hook up and stuff, and they both just trading jabs with one another and stuff.
Yeah, that part. That was a good bit. The other good bit was how she can keep each scene just filled with laughter, because I swear anytime she's on the set and she says any line, you're guaranteed to laugh. I dare you to watch a scene with her in it and not laugh.
Yeah, I mean, and Little Rock, she ends up hooking up with this hippie dude named Berkeley.
Named Berkeley.
And again, I just like Tallahassee's like, Berkeley,
Birkenstocks, soccer ball. My man Tallahassee went nuts.
Oh, and then we meet Luke Wilson and Tommy Middleditch playing Albuquerque and Flagstaff. And if you saw from the trailer, they're like basically like
doppelgangers
to Tallahassee and Columbus. And it's not spoiling it. It's just their interaction is what you expect. It's fucking hilarious. And it's what you expect an interaction like that to be. And Rosario Dawson stays looking fine as hell, even in the zombie apocalypse.
Absolutely.
And she's great. Everybody in this movie is just they're on point. Like they got the comedic moments and everybody you like across the board. There's not one person that's unlikable. Like they all carry a different flavor, and that's why I say it goes back to the first movie in the fact that like the first movie was very much funny. Like it didn't take itself with this. Like the zombie apocalypse is there, but it's play for laughs. But there's still a sense of tension there a little bit still.
The thing I liked was the dubbing of the new breed of zombies that appear in this movie. Mm-hmm. They call them T-800s.
yeah, they're basically super zombies that more or less are smart. They can matrix dodge bullets, which was fucking hilarious. And they're fast. They're very fast, and they require a lot of bullets to kill, so to speak. So
I mean, a lot of bullets. It's like playing Resident Evil, and you kill one zombie and notice that their body doesn't disappear, and you don't think to take out the lighter and burn them. You come back sometime later because an invisible clock starts a countdown. You happen to go back in that room. They rise up and they run after you as Crimson Heads.
Yeah, and okay, so I gotta give a shout out to Ruben Fleischer. I wasn't huge on Venom, and I didn't think that was his wheelhouse, so I'm glad he kind of went back and did Zombieland, coming back to it, and he did it. And like I said, it's done really well, clearly, and stuff, and yeah, it's just so much good stuff. Look, I'll say this much. So Bill Murray's in the movie, not going to spoil it, but they do a good job using him again.
Yeah.
It's so good, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's like when you see him in the movie, you would say, okay, this was an excellent use of Bill Murray.
Yeah, and yeah.
The thing with the whole Graceland bit about Elvis, you get to see Woody Harrelson, who does a pretty good Elvis Presley.
Oh yeah, definitely. He does a phenomenal Elvis Presley, and just his reaction to certain things. Like there's a running joke about this family van that they have, and just every which way he does not like the fucking van, and it's hilarious. And they do, and it's like every joke you're thinking this is gonna get like, because initially I'm like, oh, this joke is gonna get old, but like they find different ways of making it funny.
I remember the first time when they had no choice but to take the family van. I saw the keys and I said, dude, was that a giant discount card?
Mm-hmm. I mean, but like I said, they escalate that joke every time, and you're laughing because like, oh my god, this is actually good. Because I think a lesser writer, because the writer for this is Rhett Reese. He wrote Deadpool 2, and all that stuff. So you clearly get the jokes,
yeah,
and all that stuff, you know. Because I think both of them actually, I think it was it actually is from the people that wrote Deadpool, the Deadpool movies and stuff. So yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And honestly, that whole thing of taking the family van is, it reminds me a lot of a running joke from Top Gear. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you a good example. So in Top Gear, there's an episode where the guys go to Vietnam, right? And they had to go from Saigon City, from Ho Chi Minh City to, I think, Hanoi, or like this little island, like off the coast, right? Yeah. Now, the whole time they're traveling, they have to go by bike. And all three of them got bikes, whether it was Vespas or like different types of, or like a Russian bike, you know, they all had specific bikes that they wanted to ride. Now, the stipulation was, if your bike breaks down to where it is beyond repair, you have no choice but to drive the studio's backup bike, which was a bike, but it was covered in red, white, and blue stripes. Yeah. It's an American flag bike, and it has these huge speakers on it blasting "Born in the USA." Nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted their bike broken.
Yeah.
And the joke was, like, for anyone that doesn't get it, I remember Jeremy Clarkson saying it himself. He said, he says, look, kids, if you're watching this and you don't understand why this is inappropriate, ask your parents, because this is about as inappropriate as a bike as humanly possible. I'm like, yeah, you're in the middle of Vietnam with a super American bike. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Blasting Born in the USA.
I mean, but that's what speaks to this movie, is that I like just everything. Like I said, even with the plot is simple, but it's just, you like how everything just escalates over the course of the film till you get to the finale and stuff, which the finale is fucking awesome. I love it.
I love the examples that they use for Zombie Kill of the Year.
Yeah, zombie. There was definitely some very unique zombie kills of the year, including one that was just so over the top but hilarious.
One of the things I have to point out with these zombies, like with these zombie kills of the years, is Columbus. How do you know all this if there's no internet?
Word of mouth.
Okay, I'll give him that. But where is he hearing it from?
Yeah,
zombie apocalypse.
But you know what? You don't question it because you just go with it. You just go with it because it's fun. Because even in the first movie, he hears about the zombie kill of the year from another state, and I'm like, you know what it is? I assume, and I think this is the credit to the movie, you kind of assume that maybe they came across other people when they heard word of mouth, the lore from other people.
Fine, I'll accept that.
You know, because in the silliness of this movie, it's great. Like, there's one moment in the movie where Columbus is reading The Walking Dead. He's like, this is so ridiculous.
he's like, this is ridiculous. This is this is totally unbelievable. Like, what is this? And he just tosses it.
Yeah,
like,
and it's fun, and you're laughing because it's like, yeah, that is actually pretty fucking hilarious and ironic considering, you know. But yeah, man, it's really tough to go into this movie without spoiling it, man. So I don't want to spoil nothing.
There's nothing really to go.
I like the zombie effects. The zombie effects are dope.
Yeah, the zombie effects are great. I'm just going to sum it up for you because we're not going to spoil nothing. Go see this movie, period. Especially if you love the first one, go see it.
Yeah, it's a good follow-up. It's definitely better than the first movie. And again, it's not taking anything away from the first movie. Hell, I might watch the first movie again. But like, it actually is a good sequel. Like, because again, my fear was like, oh boy, what are we going to do in this sequel now? What are we doing? You know, and it's like, oh, it's actually good. Okay, cool. Yeah,
like great. Like, what can we do with this sequel? But then again, the movie's called Zombieland. It's a giant open sandbox movie for them to do anything.
Yeah.
Get creative with your kills. You got new, like I said, new forms of zombie. The T-800s, the ninjas, yes, the Homer, the Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Dude, all these new versions of zombies I thought had hilarious premises.
Yeah. I mean, so, and like I said, and even with the rules they put in the movie, it's simple and to the point. You get bit, hey, you only got a short time before, you're a zombie. Done.
Yeah, and I do like how the rules of Zombieland apply, where if you get bit, it does not take long to transform into, to change into a zombie.
There ain't no World War Z shit. Cut the arm off.
Yeah, there's no cutting the arm off.
That was metal as shit in that movie, by the way. I love that scene. He's like, fuck it.
Yep. I mean, there's none of that in this movie. It's like, oh, got bit. Well, that was the end of this suit.
Yeah, basically. So, you know, and like I said, it works everything works to the effect of the comedy that they're playing into the movie and stuff. Like I said, the character of Madison, I think in a lesser movie they would made her way more annoying than what she is in the movie, but she was the right kind of annoying in this movie.
Mm-hmm. And the jokes that followed with her was just priceless. I mean, everybody who was pretty much feeding off of her energy by announcing how annoyed they are with her, but whenever she carries on a conversation with them, they're like, yeah, I didn't think of that. Or, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. There is no going wrong here.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Like, I just love the sorry. No. And then the part that I thought was really funny with Madison was she actually did sarcasm and she didn't even realize it.
Yeah. and you know what? That's what made that joke work. She just did it unknowingly and she was like, what's that? Nothing.
Like, Was that sarcasm? What?
What? Oh my god, man! And like I said, even down to Berkeley, he does a good job playing the hippie poser dude and stuff. Just because his whole shtick is him playing songs, and he thinks that Little Rock doesn't fucking know any of the songs, and it's like, come on, dog! Like, she's been around Tallahassee her whole fucking life. Like, he pretty much plays rock music, so of course she knows. But whatever. But yeah, like I said, their Vince of Death's story is simple to the point, and it is great. It's awesome. There's nothing much to really land in other than go see this movie. You definitely would not regret it. Definitely worthy of the watch and such. So I can't believe there's a video game based off this movie. It's kind of weird.
What video game? I mean, what zombie franchise doesn't have a video game on it?
Well, this one is like a twin stick shooter, so that makes sense. Yeah. So. But yeah, I'm sitting at a 9.5. Possible 10.
I'm right there at 9 with this movie because again, it was very funny. Like, I laughed at this movie more than the first one, and the first one was funny as funny as the first one was. I laughed at the second one more.
Yeah, I mean, 90 minutes again, straight to the point.
Yeah,
you know, they could have easily been like, let's do 2 hours, and it's like, no, hour and a half, get to the point. Done.
Just give us 90 minutes of zombie killing hilarity.
Yeah, and like I said, even the action is great. The beginning of the movie does a lot of, like, I want to say they're making fun of action slow motion because it was actually I like the inventiveness of the opening credits of the movie.
When I saw the opening credits, I said, I'm getting a little bit of Wanted flashbacks.
Yeah, just a bit and stuff. I like how also too, Columbus is... Okay, so there's a part where Columbus and Flagstaff have their little rule-off, so to speak, where they have stuff in common because it plays to them being doppelgangers and stuff to them. And it's just, I just love seeing the words pop up on top of them and stuff, and it just crashes and stuff. I still like that effect. I think it's a great effect. I love it.
Yeah.
Commandments versus rules is funny. But yeah.
That was, like, the whole commandments versus rules thing. When I saw that bit, I said, wow, this is very Scott Pilgrim-y.
Oh, yeah, very, 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 very. I'm shocked that people on this movie had nothing to do with Scott Pilgrim. I'm really much shocked about that because this is very much an Edgar...
like an Edgar Wright thing.
Yeah, Edgar Wright thing and stuff. But, yeah, it works. It definitely works and stuff. So, yeah, like I said, I guess we're shooting at a 9 for this movie, and definitely go see it, man. This is a stacked weekend, man. It's like, hey, you take the kids to see Maleficent, and you can go see Zombieland, especially for a movie that's rated R. It's kind of crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, a rated R movie that was this much fun.
Yeah, you can do it.
I highly recommend.
Or was it PG-13? I'm trying to think.
No, no, man, that movie had to have been rated R.
Okay, yeah, rated R. But yeah, it was great. It was great. Come for the zombie killings and come for Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd popping up for a hot minute, and that's about it. So, 9 out of 10, and catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
We done.